Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to Co-Creative Healing. My name is Greta, and I'm a healer posting spiritual content here on the channel intended to serve you in your journey of spiritual growth and evolution. And so today's video is just intended to do just that. We're going to chat with Spirit and see what Spirit wants to teach us about, to share with us today. What kind of enlightenment do you have for us today, Spirit? We have got... Ooh. Oh, something to clear out. Oh, we have two cards. Okay. Then I'm going to use this as the overall energy. Change of plans. Oh, and something that popped. Interesting. We've got the Lovers, Major Arcana number 6, and this is the Thoth Tarot. I absolutely love this deck. Look at the beauty of that illustration. And this is talking about, we're going to talk about the fit. We're going to talk about people, places, and things that fit us, situations that fit us, where there's that mirroring from one to the other. There's complementarity, and how much Spirit wants that for us, and how we are divinely ordained. We're divinely destined to experience that in life. We live in a world that doesn't really make that possible, but we're divinely destined to experience that. And I'm getting debris and stuff from everywhere. Like the little hairs, things that just show up. And there's this energy of when you want that, when you go for that, yeah, there's work that needs to be done. There's stuff that comes up to the surface because we live in a way where we exist and we are raised and we function, our society functions in a way where that is not normal. So stuff comes up when we start to reach for that. But we've got Soul Child. Beautiful. Again, look at that card. Look at that energy. Oh my God. It's how we're supposed to live. It's how we're supposed to live. It's how who we are. But initiation by fire. There you go. There's the purification. Master number 22, by the way. Okay. So here's what Spirit is saying. With the soul child, Spirit is saying, you are my child. You are a divine child. You are, even if you believe in the universe, for example, you are the universe's creation. You are at one with the universe. Still, you are a creature of the universe's creation. And there is a bond between the parent, the child, between the creator and his creation, where there's a sense of responsibility. So you're not created to be without. You're not created to suffer. You're created to thrive. You're created to experience all good things. You're created to be blessed. You're created to be blessed. But we live in a world, in a society, where that's not always what happens. Things aren't set up for us to live that abundance. Things aren't set up for us to thrive in this way. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, but I often laugh when I'm clearing out energy. So I can talk about difficult things, unfair things, and so on. I will laugh. It's not that I'm taking it lightly. It's just that my way of clearing energy. And so, which is innate, by the way. So we've got initiation by fire, and this is a card that talks about purifying out of our lives everything that is not in alignment with our true self and our true being. How perfect is that? It talks about how there is a process that's required in order to gain access to that kind of life. And with master number 22, which is the number of the master builder, it talks about, like, the message is coming through is that in order to have that kind of life, in order to have that kind of experience, that kind of fit, where it's the job, the situation, the relationship, the wardrobe, the food that is the best suited for us, that really fits us in all ways, and in a multi-dimensional way. So it's not just one aspect of us that is nourished and fulfilled, but all aspects of us, our spirit, our human, our soul, all are just completely fulfilled by the choice, by the experience, by the relationship, by the situation, and so on and so forth. For that to happen, some work needs to be done. There needs to be some purification. But when that work is done, the outcome, that fit, is, may consider that a master creation, Spirit is saying, because it is not given in this world. If it was easy, everybody would do it, but everybody doesn't do it, so it's not that easy. We've got isolation, Three of Swords. We've got Crow Woman, Sacred Law, Major Arcana number 8. It would be the equivalent of the Justice card. Nine of Pentacles, Community. Beautiful. Isolation and community. And Lakshmi, Wheel of Fortune. Okay, here's what it is. Traditionally, we experience isolation in the pursuit of that fit. Most people on the planet don't even know that it exists. They don't care that it exists. They don't need it to exist, and so on and so forth. But it still does exist. But there are some people, and the sacred law is talking about that. And Spirit is even saying it's part of the evolution of a species. I don't know if you've heard about highly sensitive people, but about 15% of the population have a different way of processing energy. Our brains work in a different way. We're more sensitive to certain things. You find it also in animals, and it's kind of an evolutionary response, so that more a part of the herd or part of the species is more sensitive to certain things than others, which and other parts are less sensitive, which allows different strengths to happen, but it's for the resilience of the species overall. And in the same way, in a spiritual sense, there may be few of us, but we're needed. We're part of the community. The people who value this kind of fit, who seek this kind of fit, who realize it for themselves, also show everybody else that it exists, that it can be done, and it's something that's very inspiring to others. So Spirit here is talking about a form of higher level function, value, contribution to seeking out this kind of fit, to doing the work to be able to live in a reality that is a complete and total match for one's own inner being and true being. And because there is that higher level, it's something that is incredibly blessed. The goddess Lakshmi, blessed with fortune, blessed with even knowledge, also blessed with love. It's an incredibly blessed situation to be in, and you're going to get a lot of energy when you're on this path that is kind of pulling you forward, pushing you forward, because it's something that is incredibly needed in and of itself by design, by how humanity is designed. It's, not everybody needs to be on the forefront or in the front lines of if we're going to talk about it in terms of spiritual warfare, we could. And not everybody needs to be on the front lines in spiritual warfare, but everybody reaps the benefits of it, right? So if you are on the front lines, you get certain perks, you get certain things, and what you do get is a lot of energy that is supporting you, pushing you forward at this time, especially since yeah, I really gotta laugh before I let out this one. I can see why I warned you now, especially since we are talking about trigger warning, the survival of our species. We are living in a time where the survival of our species is in question. Not the survival of the planet will be fine, but our species and how we're going to be able to live, and also just the basic consequences of climate change. For example, I'm thinking about climate change, I'm thinking about environmental degradation, among other things. Nuclear weapons and so on. There's plenty to choose from. Capitalism run amok. There's plenty to choose from that is endangering the survival of our species. And so, where there is the energy of someone transcending those dynamics, there's going to be a lot of support. There's going to be a lot of support. And Spirit is saying also a lot of appreciation. We have got Nine of Swords criticism. We have got Queen of Cups perception. We have got Ten of Pentacles fruition. And we have got Queen of Wands regeneration, exactly. With the Nine of Swords, I feel like Spirit is talking about ways in which we may doubt ourselves or criticize ourselves for wanting this fit that we don't realize. And that's what the perception is talking about, is that it's about perceiving that it's not a flaw. There's nothing wrong with us because we are unable or unwilling to live in the status quo, because we're unable to thrive in it, because we're unable to be satisfied with it. There's nothing wrong with us. It's a matter of needing a different kind of experience here on earth based on who we are on the inside, and based on our spirit and our energy. And that existence, or that kind of mixture of things, your energy, and you realizing that you need this fit and going for it wherever you are in your journey, and of course experiencing it wherever you are in relation to this in your journey, that's the fruition. It's almost like you are the embodiment of an evolutionary strategy. You are the embodiment of an evolutionary dynamic that is at play on this planet as much as climate change is, for example. Years ago, I was watching, it was about I think it was the war in Yemen or Syria. At this point, it's kind of take your pick. I was watching a war, a documentary about war, and I started to weep, and I wept in like the core of my being. I was weeping for the human experience and for humanity. And then, you know, I think I was saying like, Spirit, help, please help. And then Spirit said, I am helping. And it's like, well, how? And then Spirit's like, well, you're weeping. I'm getting very touched, sorry. And then, no apologies, but, and then Spirit said, you are my compassionate response to the state of this world. And it's you, me, but it's all of us. It's like this kind of way of living and being, pursuing this. It's Spirit's compassionate response to the way in which our world is. It's a form of regeneration, and really embracing that is going to help us regenerate. It's about completely shifting how we embody this energy, how we think about it, how we live it, how we demonstrate it in the world. There's no need to be apologizing for it. There's no need to be ashamed of it, or just in any kind of way misunderstanding it. This is something to represent loud and clear, because it's something that everybody benefits from. It's not everybody's path, but they still benefit from seeing that it exists. They still benefit from engaging with it, just as we benefit from engaging with someone's path who is lost or doing harm. It benefits us in some ways. We benefit one another. That's how we're set up to be. That's what life is. And so this habit of rejecting ourselves or others, if they show up in one way or another, is something we have to just do away with completely, but instead to really stand in the strength of who we are and what we know to be true for ourselves, and to live that, period. It doesn't have to be, you know, we don't have to need to get on soapboxes. We don't need everybody to join us. We just have to be who we are and stand in the truth of who we are, because what Spirit is saying is that who we are is designed for great purpose. You are God's compassionate response to the state of this world. You are the universe's evolutionary response to the state of this world, and so on and so forth, you know, again, according to your belief system. We've got sources. Major Arcana number 1. This is the Magician with Morgan Le Fay. We've got White Buffalo Calf Woman, Sacred Fire. I knew she would show up. Major Arcana number 11, the equivalent of the Strength card. We've got the 5 of Swords, Fear. And we've got the 2 of Swords, Balance. Beautiful. Fear and balance. Yeah. Okay. With the Magician, Morgan Le Fay, there's the need to craft something new. And Morgan Le Fay, even the Arthurian stories represent like this breach from one world into the other. And she's really this archetype of navigating that. Now there's all kinds of stories, right? Navigating more or less well, but there's the notion of crafting a path forward, choosing what that path is going to be, and seizing that power for oneself. She is someone in even the darker stories who broke taboos, who did things that you weren't supposed to do. And now we all know, or most of us know, but I assume you know that a lot of women in stories are vilified and so on, and made to represent that. But it's also talking about, you know, feminine energy is evolutionary energy. It's about how we grow and evolve in alignment with the situations that we find ourselves in, the context that we find ourselves in. And Spirit is saying, you have this power to, you know, set things on fire, but to light it up, to turn it on. You have this power to craft the new way, to craft the new journey. And I just realized this is my nature stone. It's part of your nature. It's part of nature itself. Again, that notion of evolutionary response. Some of us are made to do that. And with White Buffalo Calf Woman is a deity. I don't know exactly the story, but she would be like a goddess, a deity who descended to earth and who taught and brought teachings of love, of peace. But in archetypally represents this energy that comes in to teach a higher way of life and a higher way of living. And it's not to look down on what she found. It's just that by her being and being in relation to her and engaging with her, the people around her were uplifted, and they were in enlightened. Yeah, that's what I said. Spirit, how will you enlighten us today? There's something enlightening. There's a lesson for others to get from how you are and how you lead your life and how you go about things. And it's completely up to people how they will respond. A lot of people are going to be afraid. They're going to freak out. Why are they going to freak out? Not because of what you embody, but kind of what it would require from them to align with what you embody and what you're putting forward, right? For example, compassionate response in the face of war, that is something that would freak out a lot of people because it needs to go into our own responses to violence, for example, aggression. How are we handling it? How are we managing it? Maybe standing forward, standing in the limelight, shining your light, freaking people out because they have issues with being judged and so on and so forth, right? Whatever it is, it's other people's own things, their own fear. It's triggering. It's triggering. And so it's Spirit is saying that this kind of path requires the ability to allow for both. You're going to be misknown. You're going to be misknown. Some people are not going to see you. They're not going to understand you. They're not going to be able to relate to what it is that you embody. But it doesn't represent something that you need to live with. You don't need to live in the night of that. You can live in the light of who you are. You can make it their reality and allow them to live in their reality just as you live in yours. And that's how it is intended to be. We're not here to change anybody. No one needs changing. No one needs saving. We're just here to live together. And as we live together, we inspire one another. We touch one another. And we evolve together. Right? Because no one way is the same. If we're evolving into more compassion, it's because we've witnessed a tremendous lack of compassion. If we're evolving into more eco-friendly and sustainable ways, it's because we've witnessed incredibly damaging ways and so on and so forth. So it's all about not necessarily duality or polarity. It's just about consequences. It's a logical consequence of living together. It's what happens, and that's all we need to do. We just need to make sure that we're living together in ways where you and I are not selling out on who we are, so that we can live more at peace in something that wouldn't actually be true community, but would just be kind of the status quo. So what more do you want to say, Spirit? We have celebrate life. Yay. Okay. And it says, I celebrate every day by honoring and respecting all life on earth. Amen. More with that soul child. Nature spirits. I respect all of nature's elemental beings and help preserve life on earth. Ooh. Ooh. That's actually heavy because it's literal. Air elemental. I embrace the element of air and am open to all knowledge and wisdom. Okay. So this isn't supposed to be a drag. This is what Spirit is saying. Your contribution, and that's the beauty of it, right? Your contribution to the evolution and the growth is not about being heavy or dour or sad. It's about you celebrating life. It literally is like walking down the street and having that strut, and people are, why are they strutting? The economy's there, and this is going on, and that's going on. Well, that's their life. That's their reality, what you're perceiving. Why are you strutting down the street? Because life is good. Because I'm here right now. Because I'm in this moment. Because I'm going here. Because I'm doing that. Because I'm me. And so on and so forth, right? However you translate that energy into your reality, that's what it is. You're not being asked to do anything superhuman. You're being asked to live according to your nature, your spiritual energy. You're being asked to ignite that fire inside your bubble, your sphere, your realm, and to live it out accordingly. And then everything else will unfold as it will. People will think what they will. The chips will fall where they may. But this is you. And doing this is, in a way, what is going to help us to serve and even preserve life on earth, because because spiritual energy is incredibly creative. It is incredibly creative. And what we need, the solutions we need to move forward and into something new, to craft something new, they're going to come, right from Spirit. Right from Spirit, straight down. This is inspiration. This is even downloads. This is change. This is transformation. It's going to come straight to us. But also in this consciousness, all knowledge and all wisdom is available in that state, in that space of being. And it's going to bring everything that we need to move us forward and onward. With that, we've got yes. Just say yes. Yeah, this is not rocket science. It really isn't, which is lucky, right? We've got Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? And we've got break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Amen. Again, right? Just say yes. You're just saying yes to yourself. This is all you need to do. You just have to be yourself, literally. Just say yes to being who you are. That is all you need to do. It's not that easy. I get it. I know it takes work and so on and so forth. But we're talking about the conceptually. The mission, the endeavor, the role is not more than saying yes to being who you are, accepting who you are, embracing who you are, what you authentically love, what you authentically need, what you authentically want to experience. Say yes to that, pursue that. Trusting that the Spirit will provide. Amply, I'm being told. Amply. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm rubbing against the table. You should hear that in the mic. But anywho, Star Mother is how can you mother yourself? And this is about understanding that this is so good for you and that you need this. When they're born, babies need milk to live and survive. And that's just the way it is. They need food, right? They have to have food. You have to have food. Your spirit needs food. Your soul needs food. Your human self needs food. We need this kind of nourishment. We need this kind of alignment. We need to be ourselves to fully nurture and nourish who we are. We need that free expression. She's wearing all this light blue, brings me to the third chakra. We need this kind of expression to fully take care of who we are. And by living in this way, that's what's going to break the chain. That's what's going to break the chain. And it's fair to say, like, some people are searching high and low. And maybe humanity has been searching high and low. But this is the way. And I could go on and on about this because it's really fascinating. But it's a different kind of spiritual mission than we had in past times because we're living in a different context. So when people used to evolve spiritually or awaken, they would go off to the ashrams, they would go off to the convents, they would isolate from society, and they would have that experience in isolation because it was unsustainable outside. But we don't live in those times anymore. We have the internet, we can connect like this, and nobody's gonna burn me this time. but the point is that we're able to have a different kind of experience, and because we're able to have a different kind of experience, it appears we evolve, and that evolution is a break. And what comes next, rewriting the future, that's up to you, that's up to me. We create it, and that's what we're for. That is our task. To create even just to create the potential for it. And I love it because Spirit is showing me the generations. What a lot of people are saying about generation, well, a lot of people, but like mainstream media saying about generation, my generation, the millennials, but especially generation Z now. They're saying, oh, there's these kids, they're like this and they're like that, and they're completely not living in the status quo, right? They're completely unconscious. They don't realize what real life is. Well, they may not. A lot of them are young, but that's not the point. The point is they're just rewriting the future, and that's part of their nature as a generation, right? That's part of what they're doing, and that's all they need to do. And to some extent, our job as adults is to help them and support them, because when I see that, I'm like, yes. Yes. I don't have to understand it all, I don't have to agree with it all, but it's just the newness of it is what matters. The evolution, the escape from the status quo. And it doesn't mean we're necessarily going to end up in chaos, but we do need change. We do need change, and that starts with individuals. It starts with you, and it starts with me. So love, take away from this entire reading, if you would remember only one thing, what would it be? Truth unveiled. There are times when, I see where this is going. There are times when appearances of people, places, and things are deceptive. You will sense this when something feels uncomfortable within you, when you notice feelings of anxiety or doubt within you. You may think there's something wrong with you, but actually you are intuitively sensing that all is not as it appears to be. Trust what you feel, not what appears to be, because what appears to be is not of the truth. It's not of spiritual truth. And that's the role, to the large extent, to live according to spiritual truth. What appears to be will only get us lost. And in many ways, we are blessed that we don't have to live in accordance to what appears to be. We don't have to live in those ups and downs. So, love, that was the reading. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, bringing your energy. I felt very pepped up. I got very verbose in this one. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you lots of love, wishing you all the best. May you be blessed always and in all ways. And if you enjoyed this reading, please subscribe. Please comment. Let me know what you thought about it. And if you're interested in me and my work, check out the description box. It is all there. I'm sending you lots and lots of love, and I'll be seeing you around. Bye.